Top of the hour on the early line. Rise and grind. It is a Friday. My goodness, we got energy for this weekend. The NFL is going to provide that with a doubleheader tonight. Full slate show on Saturday. It starts at 1 p.m. in the afternoon. Like, you're going to be able to sit back on Saturday and watch a full Major League Baseball slate and a full NFL slate. Then you got some NFL action on a Sunday. Major League Baseball all day long. Monday Night Football to get you in. And did I mention, Joe, this Friday, yes, we're going to enjoy it, and we are. Next Friday is the real Football Friday, because that Saturday has college football today right here on the Sports Grid, and also a full slate of games in week 0 for college football. Like, we are at the precipice of excellence right now, Joe.
Yeah, you better get ready for it. It'll be here before we know it, and it'll be wall-to-wall NFL, college football, and at some point, we're going to have to get a World Series champion in the midst of all of it, Donnie. So some good times over the next couple of months coming up.
Absolutely. And by the way, Joe, where did you grow up? Like, what part of it? Was it up here, Long Island? Where was it? Where did you grow up?
I was a Long Island guy. Yep, I was a Long Island guy. So Northeast,
way,
but I don't go back.
Which is perfect. Come on now, Jets fans, let's do it. We'll do it up real big at this point. But back in the 80s, when we were talking about, the TV guide and how kids don't understand, did you have one of the remotes, which you had to have, was like a box about this long, but it was connected by like a long wire to the TV? And how many times did you break or trip over that damn box growing up?
All the time, Donnie. And not only that, but if you got like a butter knife and some tin foil, and there was a lot of different things that you could actually rig that box with and maybe get that you weren't supposed to get. So just saying, yes, I've been there and done that, where the TVs were actually a piece of furniture back in the day there, Donnie.
Yes. Exactly. Like, you want to steal a flat screen off a wall, it's pretty easy to do. You want to steal like the entire 500-pound TV, good luck to you if you can get that out of the house at that point there. And by the way, talking about those wireless, everything's communications now. People don't even remember in football, like when I was in high school, like you had a get-back coach who would just walk up and down with his cord. And if you stepped on his cord when he was coaching, that meant you had to do extra gassers at practice. This whole generation has no idea the struggles that we grew up with in the 80s and 90s. But now, talking about struggles, the public's not struggling all that much, but this is when we want to reach out to the people out there with a poll. Fade the public, baby. How about this? At SportsGrid, our Fade the Public poll, easy to find. Go on X and look at our SportsGrid account. We asked a simple question this morning, as we typically do. Who will win the West divisions in Major League Baseball? 4 options: Astros, Dodgers, Astros, Padres, Mariners, Dodgers, Mariners, Padres. Pretty even bets across the board on these votes, Joe. The leader in the clubhouse right now, the Astros and the Los Angeles Dodgers. What do you think about that?
It's and I get it. It's the chalky way to go, and that they've got the resume, right, Donnie? So who are we to step in front of the Astros and the Dodgers, who continue to do it? But if I could agree, I'll split it in half. I think maybe the Astros are still the team to beat in the American League West, but I still think the Padres have a pretty good shot of upending the Dodgers here in the National League West, and it wouldn't shock me at all. That bullpen of the Dodgers cannot be trusted to think that they are somehow going to put it together and finish off the next 6 weeks and shut teams down. Not buying it. I'm taking the Padres to win the West.
Yeah, by the way, you look at the West there in the AL, right? It's like, hey, where are the Rangers at? Come on now, back to 61-61. Feels like they had their time, Joe. We finally got a couple games over 500. They now sit 7.5 games back of the Houston Astros in first place. The second place team in the AL West is the Seattle Mariners. Like, it's interesting that we ask questions, because sometimes it's fandom that creeps in, and sometimes it's honesty. I don't like the Houston Astros, but I think they're still going to win that division. I don't like the Los Angeles Dodgers, but I think they're going to win that division. If we flip this poll and said, who would you like as like a fan that you just want to see in the playoffs? I would love the Seattle Mariners in the playoffs. That's a fun team, man. A new team in the playoffs would be a lot of fun to watch. And the Padres. As much as I hate the Padres and the Phillies sometimes clash with them in the playoffs, I would much rather see them win that division over the Los Angeles Dodgers because of how much accolades the Dodgers get to start the season and midseason and the payroll and Shohei Ohtani. Like, sometimes just root for the underdogs, even though Like the Mariners aren't underdogs. That's a really good team. The Padres in their payroll, they're not underdogs. But for me, I wish the Mariners handle business and the Padres, Joe.
Well, and we'll know, Donnie, rather quickly here because I believe 6 of the Dodgers' next 10 games come against the Padres, who are in first place. So I think after these next 10 games of the Dodgers, we'll have a pretty good idea on the direction that the National League West is headed.
Yeah, take a look at the NL West right now, too. And again, how do you become a team that climbs over another and gets into first place? It's really simple, Joe. Padres, winners of 5 games in a row. Dodgers, losers of 4 games in a row. That's a rapid rewind there just to say, oh, I'm going to slingshot past another organization. The Arizona Diamondbacks playing better baseball right now. They've won 3 in a row, winners of 7 of the last 10, but they've really dug themselves in. 60-62, made trades at the deadline here. They sit 9.5 games back. We don't think they're going to factor in. So clarity, as we like to say in these 2 divisions on the West, right? The AL and the NL, where you say, all right, looks like it's going to be the Houston Astros and the Seattle Mariners. And then you take a look at the West. It's the Padres and the Dodgers. If we had wild card options, like, do we think that the Rangers can finally put this thing together, even though they haven't the entire season? Do we think the Diamondbacks can resurrect themselves similar to what we've seen from the Cleveland Guardians, like left for dead at the deadline, but still playing good baseball? Or, Joe, is it just those top 2 teams in those divisions? Don't waste your time thinking about anybody else in those divisions.
The problem is, we just watch the Rangers do this a couple of years ago, Donnie, when they got hot? Oh, I don't know, right around the final month of the season. And we were basically looking at them as well. Even, Astros were still there. Astros, in many aspects, might have had a better team. And here we are watching the Rangers quietly down the stretch of the regular season play their best baseball. And they rode that right through to the World Series. So they have been there and they have done that. Bruce Bochy is the right guy to be able to navigate this ship. So I wouldn't bet against Texas, and mostly because I've seen them do it, and I don't necessarily trust the teams that they're chasing.
How about that? By the way, we are going to talk some Milwaukee Brewers and break their game down, but we have a little bit of time here, Joe. Do you know about that burger promotion they were talking about the other night with 12 straight victories? Did you ever get a look at some of the details of that?
No, it was, we were talking, they were feeding everyone, right? Free burgers to everybody?
Yeah, here's what it is. For the 3rd time in its history, George Webb Restaurants, which I guess, maybe just local to that area, will make good on its promise of giving away free hamburgers as part of the long-standing promotion to celebrate the Brewers winning 12 straight games. The free burger giveaway will be held Wednesday, 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. at all the 23 restaurants throughout Wisconsin. Vouchers will also be given out, I guess, if it's a little bit too packed at this point. But it says starting way back in the 1940s when Milwaukee was home to a minor league Brewers of the old American Association, George Webb promised free burgers if the local baseball team won 17 games. They dropped the promotion, Joe, to 13 games once they became a big league city in 1953. So burgers around. It's almost like as a restaurant, you hate it because you have to give away a lot of free food. But number 1, that free food is a promotion and a tax deduction. And number 2, nobody's going there just to get the burger. That means, all right, let me get the burger and let me get an extra 3 meals here for the kids at home. Great promotion. Oh, no, you're going to lose a lot of food. No, you're not. That is a genius thing they're doing, Joe.
Yeah, Mattress Mac showed us that blueprint, didn't he? With furniture, like we're going to give away free bedroom sets here. Yeah, that's the way to do it. But you got to love it. Only twice in 75 years, Donnie, have they actually had to pay this. I think they'll gladly do it here this year.
Absolutely. He's going to gladly pay somebody back. Somebody in the Padres and the Dodgers. Handicap City coming up next on the early line. Let's do it.
We all know nothing beats the energy of playing live roulette in a casino. But playing roulette online sure does have its perks. At the casino, you'll average 40 to 50 spins per hour. But online, you're looking at 100 to 150. The more spins, the more chance of wins. Now, go get lucky. See you in Las Vegas. Let's get lucky.
He said that was his decision, not a smart baseball play. Like, shut up, Dave. Like, you know what I mean? Like, really. If Ohtani wants to steal third base on his own, let him steal third base on his own, bro. Like, he's Shohei Ohtani. He made the call. He was wrong. He was out. Okay. I wouldn't have called him out for it.
In-game live, only on SportsGrid. This is the moment every fan waits for. The countdown's over. The road to kickoff has begun.
Play is here to stay.
I'm not going to name names, Kevin.
From win totals to player props, from division races to MVP debates, we've got eyes on every camp and data feeding 24/7, breaking down every angle across the league. Every pick, every edge, every line that matters. SportsGrid. Your road to kickoff starts now.
Joe, we got a game this afternoon at 2:20 p.m. It's Pittsburgh and Chicago, but that's not the game we're going to start out here. The Cubs really need a win, and my goodness, can they get some plate appearances that actually equate to runs? We'll find out. Pittsburgh's not a very good team, but that's the stage setter for your exciting weekend in Major League Baseball. But sometimes, Joe, you got to fast forward. You got to get to the really good stuff. We just told you about down the stretch they come in the NL West. It looks like it's only going to be the Padres and the Dodgers vying for a position. Probably not the Arizona Diamondbacks or even the San Francisco Giants. Tonight, they're going to do battle. 9:59, 9:60 on the rotation. A 10-10 start live from Chavez Ravine. The Padres are going to throw Randy Vasquez out there, who was supposed to be Michael King, but he's back to the IL, and Vasquez gets called up from AAA, taking on Clayton Kershaw. Kershaw opened this game as a minus 138 price. Why? Because we thought it was going to be Michael King. So it'd be a slight favorite towards the Dodgers. Now we're seeing, Joe, minus 190s out here across that betting landscape, depending on where you're shopping at, and a total that has risen from 8.5 to 9s and 9.5s across the board, depending on where you're shopping. Dodgers, Padres, what a series we have to kick off tonight.
Yeah, it feels like it's going to be very playoff-esque, right? And it feels like that's what it's going to be. And listen, Vasquez doesn't make a difference who's starting here for the Padres, because that bullpen, Donnie, is night and day better than anything the Dodgers have here. So even if the starting pitching doesn't hold up there early, and it's not like the Dodgers have been crushing the ball, let's be realistic here, I think they're going to be just fine unloading that bullpen. So, yeah, I think all the value to me here is certainly on the Padres, to the point where I can get them at about plus 150 in the first 5. Yeah, I'd go contrarian. I'm not trusting Kershaw. I would take a shot at the Padres, who have been there and done this all season long. I think they're a pretty good buy at plus money here early in this game.
You are a better man than me, Joe Raineri, because I can't, like, Randy Vasquez is that guy that's like, let me fade him. And he's like, watch this, Donnie, 5 innings pitched, 1 earned run. I'm like, well, you got to be kidding me. Like, his analytic numbers are supposed to say, Joe, he doesn't make it out of the second inning of any game. Like his last 60 days in baseball, even though he got sent down, 6.39 xFIP number. I didn't even know it goes that high. ERA of close to 5. Doesn't strike anybody out. xFIP minus number at 154. So for me, I'm almost like a role reversal saying, you have no chance to win this game, Dodgers, if you are losing to Randy Vasquez over the first 5 innings. So if you want the Dodgers, I'd actually take the Dodgers first 5 and then sort of round back with the Padres full game, because we do think that their bullpen is much better. But that is a high price point for the Dodgers. This isn't 2012 Clayton Kershaw. This is 2025 Clayton Kershaw, and things certainly are different at this time. But for me, I can't trust either one of these pitchers. I look at like if you can get the 9 instead of the 9.5, maybe we get 10 runs because there's a chance that we could have 3-3, Joe, by the 6th inning. And then away you go to see if you can get the extra innings or push across a couple runs to get that number done. But for me, I just can't trust Mr. Randy Vasquez. Let's get to another game. Let's move up on the card. That's Milwaukee. We just talked about burgers. They're looking for a 13 burger in the win column. The Big Miz is back on the mound to take on Nick Martinez today. A total that's listed at 9 across the board. A favorite for Milwaukee of -138. Can we trust Mizorowski on the mound today as a favorite on the road? But by the way, like the Reds are playing better baseball. But anytime I see like Milwaukee now, like, you gotta be kidding me, under -140. Sign me up.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at the Brewers and what they're doing here, I mean, for a team that doesn't necessarily hit a ton of home runs, they're not a power hitting team, Donnie, yet. I think over their last 24 games, they got a 140 WRC plus. This is a machine right now, this offense, the way they're playing. They're a pretty good defensive team, and they got some speed on the base pass as well. Plus, you got a team that's hitting what? 300 right now collectively. I mean, that's 1 through 9 is a problem. And then you've got the Reds who, which team shows up, Donnie? Which offense for the Reds shows up here? Is it the team that is all of a sudden can score 9, 10, 11 runs, no problem? Or are they going to be the team that's going to be lucky to get on the board at all in this game? If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Brewers until they lose 2 or 3 games for me.
Nope, absolutely. The Big Miz is on the mound. By the way, Joe, you know, you're growing up in the Northeast here. If I gave you a jingle of a store that you'd like to go shop at, what jingle is this? What's that mean to you? Does that mean anything?
Oh, wow. That would have to be.
Come on.
What is it? PC Richard? Like, what is it? Is it? It is.
Absolutely,
Wow.
Man. Absolutely. And by the way, correct me if I'm wrong. The Yankees, is when they get a strikeout from their pitcher, they play that call. God, it's annoying, man. It really is. But you talk about like jingles of the past that just ring in your head. As soon as you hear somebody whistle, I was like, I got to go buy a TV or a radio at PC Richard and Sons here. And away we go. So a little blast from the past year in the Northeast at some of those places. Still around at this point, but back in the day, they flooded your airways, man, with commercial after commercial. Now, we just talked about a pitcher, Mizorowski, that has a chance to dominate here. Didn't we tell you yesterday, hey, there's a guy on the mound for the Washington Nationals that's actually pretty good. That's Mr. Lord, and he did some damage against the Phillies, who are struggling at the plate. A little bit different today. You get Mackenzie Gore on the mound, the left-handed pitcher, to go up against Zach Wheeler, a heavy favorite for the Phillies at some outlets as high as a -194, a total that's listed at 8. Sometimes when the Phillies go through a funk on offense, it's hard to shake it out. Can Mackenzie Gore be the tonic that the Philadelphia Phillies need to get back in the win column and, more importantly, score some runs, man?
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. We saw that, over the last month and a half, things have not gone well for Mackenzie Gore. And then all of a sudden, after what was 2 starts ago, I think his worst outing of his career, he kind of went back to the drawing board, he said. And then we saw him come out last week, Donnie, and he was absolutely lights out. So if we get that version of Mackenzie Gore, I don't know where the runs are coming from here, Donnie. It's not like Philadelphia has been crushing the ball. Don't know that they're going to crush it here tonight either. I think it's an under game waiting to happen.
Nobody beats the Wiz, Joe. Does that bring it back a little bit of a bell for you there up in the Northeast? How about Crazy? You ever shop at Crazy Eddie? You ever done that one before?
The prices were
Eddie with the yellow T-shirt.
The prices were insane.
Oh, man. These young kids got no idea what we're talking about right now. The prices are insane. That's what we're talking about in Major League Baseball. You want to bet Wheeler today? The prices are insane on the Philadelphia Phillies. We got more Major League Baseball handicaps coming up. How about Texas and Toronto? How about Baltimore and Houston? How about Detroit and Minnesota? It's a Friday on the SportsGrid Network. Enjoy yourselves, people. The energy is high. We'll keep bringing it next.
Want to play roulette? Here's a tip. European roulette has a lower house edge than American style. The lower the house edge, the better shot you have at winning. Most online casinos offer European roulette. So, if I were you, I'd get spinning. Now, go get lucky. See you in Las Vegas. Let's get lucky.
This is the moment every fan waits for. The countdown's over. The road to kickoff has begun.
Play is here to stay.
I'm not going to name names, Kevin.
From win totals to player props, from division races to MVP debates, we've got eyes on every camp and data feeding 24/7, breaking down every angle across the league. Every pick, every edge, every line that matters. SportsGrid. Your road to kickoff starts now.
Justin Rose has done it so many times in his career. That's like he's so good at everything. There's nothing that he's bad at. You know, every part of his game is at close to a elite level when it's good. And so when he had it going on this week, he's not scared, dude. When he gets that look in his eye, watch out.
The Smiley Show, only on
If you don't like getting hit, you can't do BKFC point blank.
Oh, absolutely. Like in the MMA world, you have opportunities to negate getting hit more so than BKFC. You can get a takedown, you can secure a dominant position where you're less likely to get hit, and even if you are getting hit, you're less damaging because of your position.
Combat Sports Report, only on SportsGrid.
You wind down the week on a Friday, but it only gets ramped up, Joe. Friday night, Saturday into Sunday. Before you know it, it's an NCAA college. Whoa, that means deals. That means deals are on the horizon, Joe. You hear that? Yep. Brings back the memories. What do you want to buy? Like a little Walkman? Like, what does it make you want to do? Like the little TV that you carry around in your hand, like the little Sony? Those were fantastic.
Those were absolutely fantastic. And hey, who doesn't need a good refrigerator, right? Just give me a new refrigerator while I'm here, since that's kind of what that thing triggers. Just go out and buy an appliance, Donnie. That's what it tells me.
By the way, this had to have been maybe, I want to say 5th or 6th grade. Like one year at Christmas, like I asked for the small, like handheld color TV, the Color Man, I think it was called maybe at that point from Sony. I mean, you would have thought that I was in like the year 50-30 at that point. I was so mesmerized that I could take a little TV with me everywhere I go. Absolutely outstanding times at this point. That's why we're old guys. We talk about having a little handheld TV back in the day. Now we have a cell phone. But let's get to the business here at hand. That's Texas and Toronto today. Jacob deGrom's going to take them out for the Rangers on the road to take care of Chris Bassett and the Toronto Blue Jays. 961, 962 on the rotation, a 7:07 start. 7.5 shows the total across the board. Pick them across the board. We just told you, Texas, what's going on? 7.5 games back. You need to start somewhere, but at the same time, you're taking on the first place Toronto Blue Jays. DeGrom, is it? Or Bassett for you?
Well, it's been nothing but it looks like Toronto money coming in after the opening here, Donnie, because Texas opened up with DeGrom as the favorite. I'm seeing it down to about minus 105, 106 in a lot of spots. So we are getting about a 15-cent move here towards Toronto. And who can blame him? I mean, Chris Bassett, listen, it's one thing to fade Bassett on the road, and because he hadn't been great on the road, but at home, he's 8-0 with a 2.56 ERA.
Wow.
He absolutely dominates there at the Rogers Center. And you mean to tell me I'm getting the home team Toronto, where they're a much better hitting team at home? I'm getting them at plus money? Make it make sense for me here, Donnie. If it ain't broke, let's not fix it. I'm going with the under as well.
Yeah, we were talking about under in that game yesterday, Joe, with the Cubs, 2-1 final. I mean, why not play the hits again? DeGrom, good pitcher. Bassett, good pitcher at home, 7.5. Do you think we get 8 runs in this game today? Possibly not. Maybe that's the better play in this game. But DeGrom, Bassett, 7:07 start, up in the 6. Let's get to the next game and go down to Houston. That's Baltimore traveling down with Young on the mound. He ain't very good. Framber Valdez counters him. He is pretty good. So hence you see that price point of around a minus 240 price, depending where you're shopping at. And a total, Joe, that opened up at 8, that has now dropped to 7.5. Young versus Valdez. I like this Houston lineup. I like the way it projects tonight. I think Houston hits, and I think Houston wins.
Yeah, and I like them early, too. So I'd even look to back Houston in the first 5. I'd lay that half a run. I think they play from in front in this game, Donnie. So I got no problem thinking they're going to have the lead heading into the 6th inning.
Should be some good stuff. Houston, maybe a team total action look for a little bit later tonight. Let me check. Hold on, Joe. Let me check the weather conditions down in Houston. 87 degrees, no precipitation in the forecast. And it looks like I'm showing retractable roof open tonight. What would be a bigger surprise? Like me or you hitting Powerball, or the roof actually being open for the Astros tonight, Joe? You're telling me I might get heat and humidity in that small ballpark tonight, Joe, and we're sitting at a 7.5? Is that the inside information that the people need from the early line, that we think that roof might be open tonight? It's never open down there.
Never, ever, ever open.
Wow.
But the problem is open, closed. You know, you're expecting Baltimore to do some lifting here, and I don't know that they're going to do that against Framber at all.
Yeah, as Jay-Z said, grand opening, grand closing, man. Put all your stock in the Baltimore Orioles to come up with one run against Valdez. Who cares if that roof was open? But, heat, humidity in Houston. Love to see it here. How about Detroit and Minnesota? Morton versus Ole on the mound. 965, 966, an 8-10 start tonight. A 9.5 total. And by the way, I do think we get runs. Morton isn't good. Minnesota's got a sneaky lineup here. Detroit should be able to hit OHL. And I don't mean like the, Ontario Hockey League. That guy's pitching tonight, Joe.
Yeah, listen, Detroit, and I'm not a believer here, but what are you going to do with Minnesota? Whether they're home or away, you got to go early, right?
Come on.
You got to go early with Detroit. I think Charlie can keep them off balance for a little while. I like Detroit in the first 5 in this one.
Tom Vecchio's coming up. I got to ask him what he thinks about a little more an OHL starter here for the pitcher for the Minnesota, I want to say like Timberwolves at this point, but the Twins. The Twins are, by the way, the Twins, we talked about it yesterday. Sell the team, man. Hey, Polat family, sell the team. My goodness. More baseball is coming up next with those Metropolitans.
Want to play roulette? Here's a tip. European roulette has a lower house edge than American style. The lower the house edge, the better shot you have at winning. Most online casinos offer European roulette. So, if I were you, I'd get spinning. Now, go get lucky. See you in Las Vegas. Let's get lucky.
This is the moment every fan waits for. The countdown's over. The road to kickoff has begun.
Play is here to stay.
I'm not going to name names, Kevin.
From win totals to player props, from division races to MVP debates, we've got eyes on every camp and data feeding 24/7, breaking down every angle across the league. Every pick, every edge, every line that matters. SportsGrid. Your road to kickoff starts now.
Justin Rose has done it so many times in his career. That's like he's so good at everything. There's nothing that he's bad at. Every part of his game is at close to a elite level when it's good. And so when he had it going on this week, he's not scared, dude. When he gets that look in his eye, watch out.
The Smiley Show, only on
If you don't like getting hit, you can't do BKFC point blank.
Oh, absolutely. Like in the MMA world, you have opportunities to negate getting hit more so than BKFC. You can get a takedown, you can secure a dominant position where you're less likely to get hit, and even if you are getting hit, you're less damaging because of your position.
Combat Sports Report, only on SportsGrid.
What are we going to do with the Mets right now? If you're handicapping the Mets, you're trying to make money on the Mets, what do we like to say? Put him in the bathroom. They just can't get the job done. I can't see his face anymore. Get him out of here. That's what we're getting. Last night, I had a team total over 2.5 right here on the show. Or excuse me, over 4. I wish it was 2.5. Over 4.5. They couldn't get those runs in. They couldn't strike early. Bryce Elder was Michael Jordan combined with Cy Young on the mound last night. And it happens sometimes. But you know what, in Major League Baseball, typically you're going to play the very next day and you can get that back. 975, 976 on the rotation. But this isn't the Atlanta Braves that they're taking on now. This isn't an Atlanta Braves team. It's like, we'll just play spoiler and have fun. We're talking about the Seattle Mariners, who have a legitimate chance to win the division out there in the AOS, and they want to rack up victories. It's Castillo versus Manaea on the mound today, a 7-10 start, and a slight favorite for the New York Mets. Depending where you're shopping, 122s, 124s, 120s in the marketplace, and a total that's listed at 8.5. I saw the post-game interviews yesterday from Francisco Lindor basically saying yeah, this sucks. But you have a chance to get out of this funk, and you need to, because the Phillies are like, dude, we can lose games every day if the Mets can't win. Can the Mets get a W today against the M's in the battle of the alphabets? How about that?
This is a classic, Donnie, that you never want to catch a falling knife. And right now, it's exactly what the New York Mets are. 13 of 15 games now, they have lost. And they are inventing new ways to lose games. So there is no way. The idea that, they can't lose every one of, they can lose every one of the games that you bet on them because you think they're due. Absolutely not. The Mets are a stay away from me. And by the way, Seattle comes in having lost 2 in a row to the lowly Baltimore Orioles. It's not like the last couple of games have gone swimmingly for Seattle here, but with the weather tonight, Donnie, don't trust Manaea. Castillo better at home than he is on the road. Am I crazy to think runs are coming here?
Should be. I always expect better for the Mets lineup. The Mets do have a decent hitting lineup. Just didn't work out for their favor yesterday. But also, last time we saw Seattle was against, I think it was Baltimore, where, Cal Raleigh was sitting out. We're getting a full go lineup on both sides tonight, which really should help out. And there's no reason to believe that. Sometimes you look at the totals and say, okay, might be good pitchers with about 8.5. But you don't do the math and you're okay, 5 apiece and we got that. You know what I asked for, Joe? Give me 3-3. We'll figure this out late in the game. Maybe it goes to extras. Maybe it ends up, 4-4, and you automatically punch that ticket, and away you go. Sean Manaea's last 60 days in Major League Baseball, not extensive work, but 87 as an XFIP minus. If we slide it down and take a look here at, I'm trying to find where we can have Luis Castillo. Let's see, Castillo's in the top 10 at this point. I don't see him listed. Castillo. Yeah, for some reason, not popping up on my board right now, but decent. Oh, there he is, right behind him, 8th on the card, 91 XFIP minus and a 305. So the pitching matchup is decent, but the lineup itself on both sides, come on now. Give me some good weather. Give me a couple fly balls early in the game, and certainly some things can change. You tell you what has to change here for the New York Yankees. They got to start winning baseball games, and Luis Gil coming back from the IL is supposed to be that guy you can count on down the stretch. He's going up against Palante today. That's the Cardinals and the Yankees, 977, 978 on the rotation, 8:15 start. A minus 120 favorite for the Yankees, that's increasing right now. 134s, 137s are what I'm seeing here in the marketplace, and a total, Joe, that opened up at 9. FanDuel shows an 8.5, but everybody else still sticking with 9s. The Yankees, Gil versus Palante today in the Midwest.
Yeah, this will be his 3rd start, Louis Gil, since coming off the lat strain here a couple of weeks ago. I thought he was very good in his last start against the Houston Astros. 5 1/3, gave up just 2 runs on 6 hits, and more importantly, he struck out 7 and only walked 1. So I like that fact here, and I like the fact that he is going to go on the mound with a Yankees lineup that I think might have felt a little bit better about themselves in that Minnesota Twins series. That rain delay game, they lost the last one there 4-1, but I like the matchup here. I like it because Palante, he's not going to miss a lot of bats, and I think he is another great matchup for the Yankees lineup here. I think Louis Gil keeps the Cardinals off balance. I like the Yankees in the first 5 at a really good price here. I'd be looking for the Yankees in a couple of different ways in this game.
Yeah, Palante's a decent pitcher, but I think you're going down the point that makes the most sense on this reference I'm going to use. Like his K rate per 9 innings, Joe, is only a 5. You want that at least like a power pitcher is 9 or above, like averaging his strikeout an inning. He doesn't do that. XFIP minus numbers are 105, slightly above average. ERA is above average at a 5.13, and his last 60 days is a 4.33 XFIP. The one thing that Palante has struggled with, particularly, Joe, over the past 30 days is left-handed bats. Low K rate, high walk rate, high ISO, high weighted on base percentage. Anticipated left-handed bats today in the lineup for the New York Yankees. It's Grisham, it's Bellinger, it's Rice, it's Chisholm, it's McMahon, and Wells. That's 6, Joe, out of the 9 batters lefties of what Palante struggles with. 87-degree temperatures, more of a crosswind today that won't hurt the bats. I do think the Yankees have a legitimate chance to do some damage tonight. But for me, if I'm looking to play like individual shots, it's those left-handed batters for the New York Yankees. I think will be doing the damage for the most part for them tonight. The Atlanta Braves and the Cleveland Guardians. The Braves trying to play spoiler. Maybe they can spoil the Guardian season as well. Waldrop's on the mound versus Quintillo. A 134 price at the opening number. That's disappeared. We're looking at 125s and less and pick'ems at some outlets here. 8.5 line. Cantillo, I should say, the lefty versus Waldrop. Not Darryl Waldrop either from NASCAR fame.
Yeah, and listen, I mean, we had the Guardians last night against the Marlins, and we liked the opportunity here as they are now also a half a game out of the final wild card spot as they're trying to catch the New York Yankees. And Atlanta, you mentioned it, great spoiler trip here, but they have always dominated the Mets this year. I mean, they went 7-3 against the Mets this year. It's of all the teams they couldn't beat, the Mets weren't one of them. So now they got to go on the road. They got to go to take on the Guardians, coming off a pretty good win where the bats came alive there. Yeah, I still like the Guardians at a cheap price here. A team has something to play for versus a team that has nothing to play for. I'll take the Guardians at home.
Joe's going to fade Hurston Waldrop. And by the way, his last 60 days in Major League Baseball, not a ton of work, but a 91 XFIP minus and a nice ERA of 1.54, slightly higher XFIP of 3.72. But right behind him is Cantillo. That's a 91 XFIP. So they both have the same XFIP minus over the past 60 days in Major League Baseball. Just the ERAs are a little bit different. XFIP's lining up the same. And again, 4.36 ERA for Cantillo and a 1.54 for Hurston. How about that name? Hurston Waldrop. I don't know if I've ever heard of her. Like Houston as a name? Hurston? I don't know about that one. Like vibes on a pitcher's name? Not good for me. Not good.
No. It sounds like a NASCAR driver. Isn't there a Waldrop NASCAR driver there?
Yeah.
Donnie? Maybe they're related. Yeah.
Maybe could be related at this point. Like, don't you need to have that like, energy on the mound? Like, what's your name? I'm a pitcher. What's your name? Zach Wheeler. Like, ooh, you know what? I could fit that in. Hey, who are we going up against today? Zach Wheeler. Ooh, man, that's going to be tough. Who are we going up against today? Hurston Waldrop III. Like, what is he going to do? Like, have like, the $1 million man follow him out there and like throw like instead of rose petals, dollar bills as he gets to the mound. Sounds like that dude grew up rich though to me, Joe. What do you think?
Yeah, he might. There might be a country club address somewhere involved with him. I'm just saying, might be a gated community involved with that name.
By the way, what should have a gated community tonight? Arizona and Colorado. See Arizona putting up numbers again. Let me ask you this. Colorado games to me, like yesterday, you had all the makings of what should have been an over game. Didn't go over, but it wasn't Arizona's fault. But like, the 88-degree temperatures, the wind blowing out. But you know what determines? Like, I know Arizona's going to hit. And then you get slapped in the head with like the 7.5 team total, like plus 110. You're like, I need 8 runs to hit a team total in Major League Baseball. And yes, they hit the baseball game yesterday to the over. Do you ever have a problem with Colorado games? Like, I know they're going to score, but stop the 12.5s. Like 13, the win.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. But to your point, Arizona has won 6 of their last 7, 3 in a row now, going for their 4th
season.
Why not? They're trying to get over 500 here. I got no problem looking to back them in this game here. I'd even lay the 1.5.
Brandon fought on the mound there for Arizona. Tom Vecchio is going to join us next. He's here. He's there. He's everywhere. He's right here on the early line. Let's get some hot takes from Tommy Boy.
Vegas knows how to celebrate. If you're headed to Vegas for your birthday, plan ahead to get all the birthday freebies the city has to offer. Just by showing your ID, you could get free cash play, scratch cards, drinks, and food at various venues on the Strip. Now, go get lucky. See you in Las Vegas. Let's get lucky.
He said that was his decision, not a smart baseball play. Like, shut up, Dave. Like, you know what I mean? Like, really. If Ohtani wants to steal third base on his own, let him steal third base on his own, bro. Like, he's Shohei Ohtani. He made the call. He was wrong. He was out. Okay. I wouldn't have called him out for it.
In-game live, only on SportsGrid.
Multiple times on 18 today. It was just so wild. I mean, the distances, JJ hit it to the exact same spot. He had 30 feet, 36 feet, and 30 feet, and made the second playoff hole, the 30-footer there. And then they go to recut the hole,
which I like. I like that, by the way.
Oh, I thought it was great, but I'm like, dude, he might hole out from the fairway. Like, he cut the hole where he's hit every single approach shot.
The Smiley Show, only on SportsGrid.
What would you tell the people right now, though? Like, okay, I like the Rams heading into the season, but I'm not sure about Matthew Stafford because people want to get their bets in. People want their team totals. People want to bet week number 1 here. So what's your prognosis on the Rams? We'll talk long-term in a second. Week number 1. Are we just going to say, like, yeah, he's ready. Bullets are flying. He looks great out there because he is a tough dude. But again, a back injury for a quarterback trying to get all that torque on passes, usually not good.
The Early Line, only on
Oh, yeah, it's the Early Line. The information has been stupendous on a Friday morning. It's your boy Donnie Rightside here, along with Joe Raineri and his week welcome in Tom Vecchio, the jack of all trades. You see him all over the SportsGrid network. I think he was born in New Haven. I think he was born also in Hartford and also Stamford, Connecticut. Did I get that right? Did I guess one of those three correctly for you, Tom?
No. Westchester.
Dang.
Westchester, New York.
Oh. Wow. Connecticut transplant out here. It's Tom Vecchio. He's ready. But what are the vibes for you this weekend, Tom? We got a lot of football. We got a lot of baseball. We got baseball shows. You got in-game lives. I mean, come on now. The vibes got to be high, high, high.
They were. I am hosting Game Time Decisions tonight. I was last night. I'll be doing in-game live on Saturday, pro baseball today.
Wow.
On Sunday, a little more GTD next week. I'm ready to keep things rolling. We had a good show yesterday. We're going to have a good show today.
Now, I heard from behind the scenes that there's a really good chance that you're going to stay the permanent host of GT Day. Is that in the cards for you, Tommy B, huh?
I mean, if Kevin gets lost at sea, we can have that conversation.
Lost at sea. You know what? How about this transit? Yeah, how about this transition right now? Lost at sea. That means you probably need a Mariner to come save the day for you. The Seattle Mariners, the New York Mets, Luis Castillo, Sean Manaea. The Mets can't get out of their own way. The Mets are a favorite tonight. Cal Raleigh better be in that lineup today for the Mariners. What are we thinking? Mariners, Mets here. Ooh, what a good one we got.
We are getting plus money with Seattle against a sinking Mets team. How are we just not simply rolling with the plus money where we can get it? The Mets can't get out of their own way. Yeah, they bolstered the bullpen, but as I have said time and time again, if the starting pitching is terrible and all of a sudden you're down by 4 runs or you give up a 4-run lead, the high leverage arms that you have will never come out of the bullpen because you're already down by 4. And if the bats aren't hitting, what happens from the back end of the bullpen is irrelevant. So the Mariners are a good team. Again, I've said this how many times throughout the year. I just like to bet on good teams that are coming off of losing streaks. Oh, the Mariners at plus money lost a couple games in a row with by far the better pitcher on the mound, with a by far better lineup and an awesome bullpen. Give me the Mariners at plus money when it's all said and done.
It's kind of, I'm still trying to figure out how the Mets only scored 2 runs against Bryce Elder yesterday when I think, Tom, the three of us probably could have done better. Drives me absolutely crazy. But it is at Citi Field here. Do we think runs are coming in this game? If Seattle wins, are we getting an over?
I want to say no. I would be more interested in a Mariners team total. That's what I'd be most interested in, because if the Mets aren't hitting right now, I think Castillo can take care of business. And the Mariners bullpen is awesome. And let's just say Sean Manaea does have it in him to go 5 innings, 6 innings, and only give up 2 runs. The Mariners are on a road trip right now. They did travel yesterday. The Mets are at home. So if the Mets do keep it close and they do get to the bullpen, I could actually see this game falling under. But you give me plus money with the better team, I'm still going to be taking that. And yeah, I would lean under 8.5 at this point. 7.5, that'd be a different story.
M's looking as they're tracked down the Houston Astros. The Mets just looking to probably stay in contention with the Philadelphia Phillies, which is a great crossover here because we have some other NL East action tonight, Tom, a 6:45 start from the nation's capital. That's the Phillies taking on the Washington Nationals. Zach Wheeler's going to go up against Mackenzie Gore, who certainly has had his struggles. You know who else is struggling? The Philadelphia Phillies at the plate right now, but they are a heavy favorite against the Nationals. What's an angle, Tom, you'd like to play for this one tonight?
The angle for this one is Zach Wheeler is by far the better pitcher, but I am worried about the shoulder issue that he has. We saw it last week, 5 innings pitched, only 83 pitches, more importantly. That is very concerning. And I wouldn't say I'm concerned about his overall health. It just comes down to his props. So I like him under 7.5 strikeouts today. Despite the fact that the Nationals are not a good team, they actually have a 20% strikeout rate versus right-handed pitching, which is the 5th lowest in the league. So they're somewhat disciplined at the plate. Like, they're not good, but they're not free swinging. So, if Wheeler went 5 innings last week and had 95 pitches or 100 pitches, okay, he's inefficient, foul balls, walks, whatever it might be. But 83 pitches, Donnie, this is something that we talked about. Like, I think they're going to reel him in to close out the final 6 weeks of the season. And once October 1st hits, they're like, he's ready to roll. We want to win the World Series. He doesn't need to have 110 pitches in a game in the middle of August against the Nats.
I like it.
They can't hit Philadelphia right now. Washington usually doesn't hit at home. This feels like, all right, give me the under here, unless you think we're getting fireworks, Tom, against Mackenzie Gore.
I don't. And, Mackenzie Gore had a really rough stretch of starts, but he bounced back in a big way. Donnie, last Sunday, you were on the over on his strikeouts against the Giants, if I remember correctly. Yep. And that's the type of pitcher he really is. Like, he went through a rough stretch and he looked terrible. But this is the kind of situation where he's back at home. The Phillies are struggling right now. So on paper, if you told me you wanted to play the Nats money line right now and then you wait for the Nats bullpen to get into play and then you just take the Phillies live because you know that their bullpen can shut things down, the under, the Phillies live at a better price, closer to even money, that's where I think things end up.
Let's keep it in Philadelphia, Tom. We got a huge weekend coming up in preseason action, which does start tonight. 2 games tonight, Tom. Full slate Saturday. We got Sunday night football and even Monday night football action. Love to see that. But the regular season is fast approaching. The Philadelphia Eagles taking on the Dallas Cowboys on the opening Thursday night. Tell me you got some action possibly on a Philadelphia Eagles player here with a prop we should all be looking at.
Yeah, let's go to Jalen Hurts over 31.75.5 passing yards on the entire season. Now, last year he finished with 2,903 passing yards. He did miss a game, or I should say 2 games at the end of the season. He left that game versus Commanders early. I'm looking at this as a totality of what we're going to get from the Eagles. 5 starters on defense are not there anymore. And this is not to say that the starters or the players stepping into the starting roles weren't on the team last year, but I'm going to say the Eagles defense is weaker than it was last year. Not bad, just a little bit weaker. Also, I don't expect Saquon Barkley to be pushing to 2,000 rushing yards every single season. So if his yards are scaled back, the defense is a little bit weaker. They're not playing from in front as much later in games. That just means Hurts has to pass the ball a little bit more. 20 yards here, 30 yards there. So when we need an extra 300 for him to go from 2,903 last year to get to essentially 3,200, again, it's not 300 yards in one game. We're talking about 20 or 30 yards here or there. They pass it just a little bit more. They keep Saquon healthy late in the season. Their defense is just a little bit weaker. And all it adds up to Hurts having a better passing year than he did last year. So over 31.75 Hurts passing yards for the season.
Everybody loves it. Everybody loves that play. Everybody loves Jalen Hurts. Everybody loves Tom Vecchio here. Catch him live on Game Time Decisions, hosting on a Friday to help kick off your sports weekend right here, Tom. Can we find you in New Haven this week? Can we find you at Sally's the Pizza? We'll find them somewhere. You can find them right here on the SportsGrid Network. We'll be right back to close it down next.
Vegas knows how to celebrate. If you're headed to Vegas for your birthday, plan ahead to get all the birthday freebies the city has to offer. Just by showing your ID, you could get free cash play, scratch cards, drinks, and food at various venues on the Strip. Now, go get lucky. See you in Las Vegas. Let's get lucky.
He said that was his decision, not a smart baseball play. Like, shut up, Dave. Like, you know what I mean? Like, really. If Ohtani wants to steal third base on his own, let him steal third base on his own, bro. Like, he's Shohei Ohtani. He made the call. He was wrong. He was out. Okay. I wouldn't have called him out for him.
In-game live, only on SportsGrid.
Multiple times on 18 today. It was just so wild. I mean, the distances, JJ hit it to the exact same spot. He had 30 feet, 36 feet, and 30 feet, and made the second playoff hole, the 30-footer there. And then they go to recut the hole,
which I like. I like that, by the way.
Oh, I thought it was great, but I'm like, dude, he might hole out from the fairway. Like, they cut the hole where he's hit every single approach shot.
The Smiley Show, only on SportsGrid.
What would you tell the people right now, though? Like, okay, I like the Rams heading into the season, but I'm not sure about Matthew Stafford because people want to get their bets in. People want their team totals. People want to bet week number 1 here. So what's your prognosis on the Rams? We'll talk long-term in a second. Week number 1. Are we just going to say, like, yeah, he's ready. Bullets are flying. He looks great out there because he's a tough dude. But again, a back injury for a quarterback trying to get all that torque on passes, usually not good.
The Early Line, only on
Energy was just about right today. That's how we do it. A cup of coffee and away you go into your morning here on the SportsGrid Network. Donnie Rightside and Joe Raineri. This is the Early Line. Hot topics before we get out of here. And one that was a really hot topic over the past couple of years is the resurgence of Michigan football. Boy, they're down in the doldrums here. Jim Harbaugh, the guy can't beat Ohio State at all. They lose every big game they fire into. And then, wow, they're really good out there. How'd their defense get so good? Looks like they know all the play calls out here. No. That's just good recruiting and good coaching right now. Brett McMurphy's tweet that just came out this morning. Watch out, Joe. Noon today, NCAA is going to release the Michigan penalties and infractions from the cheating scandal. How about that? Some finality on this? Or also, it's just this like, that's all the penalties that Michigan's getting? What am I not seeing here, Joe?
Well, I don't know. I mean, it only took 2 years to come up with this. Is that what we're doing? What took so long, and what is it you think you're figuring out here? Listen, I think it's a whole lot of nothing here, Donnie. You know, the only news that ever breaks on a Friday is usually released on a Friday for a reason, Donnie, because it gets buried heading into the weekend, and nobody will remember it come Sunday. So I think this is very strategic about what they're doing here.
Let me guess, Joe Raineri, another 10-year show cause for Harbaugh if he wants to come back and coach college football. That'll show him at this point. Like, if you look at the past, right? You actually had SMU paying players on a week-to-week basis. Hey, here's $100. Here's who. They buried that team 6 feet under. The Miami Hurricanes, couple kids getting Pell Grant money, $500-600. They buried that program. Do you think they're going to try to bury Michigan at this point or admit that they cheated and won national championships? Like, look at the Houston Astros, cheated their way all the way to World Series championships. And Rob Manfred's like, yeah, it sounds good. No big deal. Just miss a couple games. Or how about this? You just tell me that you guys cheated and we'll put it all under the rug just to tell us you cheated here. Nonsense here. Like, Michigan should get buried. That organization should get buried for years, but they won't.
No, I mean, listen, worst case scenario is they get banned from any sort of postseason situation here. But what are you going to do? Are you going to do one of those? Well, we're going to vacate your wins. No, who cares? Stop it. Like, we already know. I mean, that's like the worst thing in the world. Like, that'll show them like, yeah, well, we played the game and we actually won it. So you can't take that away. But I think it'll be a whole lot of nothing after 2 years when it's all said and done.
There'll be a whole lot of Michigan and Ohio State fans going back and forth on social media today. The penalties were too much. The penalties weren't enough. The penalties were too stiff. Can't believe this. We got away with it, and we beat you, and we'll beat you again next year, and away we go. But you know what time it is right now? The people wait. It's a Friday morning, which means bye, bye, bye. Who we buying tonight, Joe? What's a buy-on situation for you? Who is it?
All right, well, let's keep it rolling and head into the weekend with another winner here, Donnie. And I am going to go to St. Louis. And I like the matchup for the Yankees here tonight, who are going to look to build off of the series win against the Twins. Judge back in that lineup seems to have figured it out. There is some concern, though, that Paul Goldschmidt is still questionable for this series. Would have been great for him to go back to St. Louis and beat up on his former club, but we'll have to wait to see what happens there. Louis Heel, this will be, third start after coming off the IL. I thought he pitched great against Houston last time out. I think he is more than capable of keeping the Cardinals' bats off balance. I think the Yankees, Palante is not going to miss a lot of bats. He's going to be pitching to contact. Cardinals don't hit home runs. The Yankees do. I like Louis Heel in the first 5. I think the Yankees are definitely playing from in front in this game.
Stay hot on a Friday. Joe's going to get you paid. There's the whistle. That whistle means you're about to cash in big ticket items here, maybe get a discount of 50%, right? Well, that's the way that pick was free there. So that's the ultimate discount for the people out there. The Yankees in the first 5 innings for me, Detroit, Minnesota. Some rain in the forecast, but bad pitchers, more importantly, are in the forecast there. 9.5 showing up right now, plus 100 price. I think we get double-digit runs tonight in the Twin Cities here. Detroit and Minnesota get after it at the plate. Maybe a rain delay to knock that bullpen. By the way, Minnesota's bullpen is horrible. This is going to be like a bullpen game for them. Detroit, spot me a 7. We're winning, Joe. We're going 2-0 on a Friday. You know what's happening, right?
Yeah, and suddenly I feel the urge to go buy a microwave. I don't know why that is, Donnie. Any idea? I don't know what that is.
Man, give me a Sony Discman right now. The one with the anti-shocks. You can drive around your car and it just doesn't skip all over the place. Boy, those times were great. But you know what times are great? Spending time with us on the early line on the SportsGrid Network. For Joe Raineri and Donnie Rightside, see you bright and early on a Monday. Enjoy your weekend. We don't care where you were drafted. You outperform somebody, you're going to be on that football field. Now, again, there are extenuating circumstances where you draft a quarterback number 3 overall. Yeah, they're going to try him out for the next 3 to 4 years, even if he's not as good as anybody on that roster. But from Shadur's perspective, that's probably the case. Tyler Huntley, Shador Sanders, Dylan Gabriel, Joe Flacco, Kenny Pickett, Deshaun Watson. There's a lot of names on that list, not a lot of good names on that list, so he can earn a job on this football team.
The early line, only on SportsGrid.
Every time he's there, he just finds a way, and he's going to break through. Look at Cameron Young. Cameron Young was one of those guys, too. Remember Cameron Young? 2nd in the Open Championship, 4th, plays great in majors, almost won the Canadian Open again. I seen this guy play live. I'm like, how does this guy not have a win? And then last week, Kev, you saw what he did. He put his foot on your throat wrestling style. He didn't just win. He murdered the competition last week.
Game time decisions, only on SportsGrid.
He comes back, and what we're talking about, mid-August at that point, and then he gets a couple more starts and they're ready for the postseason. So right now, I would say probably not an issue long-term. You know, obviously change the lines of what we're going to see today. I haven't seen the lines reopen, at least on the FanDuel Sportsbook. They're locked right now, so not an issue right now. As long as he comes back and he still has that plant leg and he's still strong with that, probably no worries for the Brewers right now.
Pro Baseball Today, only on SportsGrid. This is the moment every fan waits for. The countdown's over. The road to kickoff has begun.
Play is here to stay. I'm not going to name names, Kevin.
From win totals to player props, from division races to MVP debates, we've got eyes on every camp and data feeding 24/7, breaking down every angle across the league. Every pick, every edge, every line that matters. SportsGrid. Your road to kickoff starts now.